Here's Caleb Williams. Yesterday we debuted a new segment, QB Pyramid.
Mahomes Mountain.
That was then renamed Mahomes Mountain. You called Caleb Mahomes 2.0, and Caleb has heard similar comparisons.
Just what Mahomes would say. I mean, let's be honest. Listen, I watch him play. He's the only quarterback, pro or collegiate, that the way he plays reminds me of Patrick. The artistry combined with the toughness, combined with the size, which is he's not a small guy, but he's not one of the giant quarterbacks. They're both a shade under 6'2". They're both 220. The toughness, whether it was Mahomes' ankle injury in the playoffs or him fighting through his ankle injury in the Utah game, the fact that the moment he stepped onto the college football field, he's down 21 points in the biggest rivalry in college football for Oklahoma and leads them back. Again, you guys, it's not like I throw around Mahomes comparisons lightly. And I understand if folks, just because you remind me of this player doesn't mean because he's the best, you're going to be the best guy right after him. But we have a guy in Joe Burrow that stylistically and traits-wise and physical traits and all those things remind you of Tom Brady. We have a guy, you guys make fun of me, but size, weight, height, college profile, high school profile in Trevor Lawrence that reminds you identically of Peyton Manning. We have never, again, he's got to have the whole career, but that's what he profiles out. Sure. We've never had someone, in my opinion, that is following the Mahomes arc and looks and plays like him. So, yes, I mean, I think he's a super-duper star in the making, and I think every time he's stepped on the football field, he's looked like it, and he plays like the best quarterback in the league. That's what I truly believe.
I mean, just because he looks like Patrick Mahomes doesn't mean he's going to have the success that Patrick Mahomes.
Of course.
That's what you just said. But yet I'm going to put him on the third tier with a bunch of NFL quarterbacks who are established, and I'm not even going to acknowledge the rookies who are playing. And there's two quarterbacks who are starters in the league that I'm not even going to put on the league on the list. So I'm not putting any pressure on him, except I'm going to put him on the third thing.
Oh, put plenty of pressure on him.
I was excited to see Caleb in the playoffs. But he didn't get there.
Okay, that's USC's defense is a travesty.
So he lost second. And then
Texas Tech was 7-5 every year.
Mahomes has had some bad defenses or mediocre.
In college, he was 7-5 every year.
And Caleb did only have 4 interceptions, which is great. But there was one.
Only facts.
Wait, but there's one in the Utah game and then one in the bowl game. So they lost the last 2 games of the season, right?
Yeah, they did.
And then against Utah, the first time they scored 44 points, and they scored 24 points. So
the guy won the
second
Heisman Trophy.
That's great. That's fantastic. There's a lot of Heisman Trophy winners that aren't on the quarterback list that we put together the other day.
We just don't think he should be on a quarterback mountain.
What, did you guys have a meeting without me? What's this week?
Yeah,
what are you guys talking
We love him. He's a friend
This is an intervention.
a friend of the show, but you want college guys on.
Well, okay.
That was a mic drop from Coach.
Okay.
All right? But I am going to say something. But that was, Coach, that was a mic drop. I love everything about Caleb. All right? But, Nick.
What?
Patrick Mahomes 2.0? You're a wordsmith. Correct me if I'm wrong. 2.0
better.
means better.
No, that's not what I mean.
When you talk about Trevor and Peyton,
point.
No,
I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, and knowing how much you love Mahomes, say you don't mean it that way. But saying he's Patrick Mahomes 2.0 does technically mean better. And when you said Trevor Payton, and when you said, who was the other comparison?
Brady Burrow.
Brady
I don't
Burrow.
think any of those guys
you
are
said
better.
remind me.
No.
You didn't say Burrow is Brady 2.0 or Trevor is
Yes, I did.
Peyton.
I've been calling Trevor Payton 2.0 for months.
All right.
Yes,
well,
but I don't mean better. I mean the next version.
But here's the thing. Even that, Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback we've ever seen.
Thank you.
He's not goated.
Well, let's slow.
He's not goated yet. I get
down.
it. He's got to win more to be goated. But just eye test. I've said this before. Everybody knows that. Sports Illustrated is, documented. But he is the best we've ever seen. And here's the thing I'm going to
throw that around like it's nothing. He's not the best we've ever seen.
He is. He is
Mahomes?
quite honestly the best we've ever seen.
Today.
He's very good.
But here's what I want to throw at you. And Coach mentioned this, the pressure. You were bothered, and understandably so, when people came out and said what they said about Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
Right? Aren't you doing the same thing?
Oh, that's a good point.
I mean, it's not.
You're putting unbelievable pressure on this kid.
This is.
You have to go not only to the NFL and exceed at a high level. You've got to exceed at Patrick Mahomes level early in his
You're
career.
doing the same thing they're doing to win.
That's a skill set you have.
Guys, I am not saying he is as good as Patrick Mahomes, you jackals.
What is Patrick Mahomes 2.0
What I'm saying is that we throughout all of sports history, we have, with quarterbacks in particular, said, this guy reminds me of X. This guy is the new Dan Marino. This guy is, as I've said with Trevor, the new Peyton Manning. We have Mahomes is young enough. We usually only do it when guys have retired. This is the first guy that I have seen that I say, you know what? If you're trying to compete with the most talented quarterback that we've ever seen in Patrick Mahomes, a guy who shares a lot of his traits and is going to win the national championship and is going to be the #1 pick of the draft, might be a good place to start.
I would like to hear reminds me of Patrick Mahomes.
Okay,
but not
then
Patrick Mahomes.
record that in your
Patrick
voice memo
Mahomes
and play it
like
back.
Patrick Mahomes
The closest thing he's seen to Patrick Mahomes in sports or in history or whatever.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
You still
That's
like Baby
big.
Goat, though, right?
Yeah, how'd that work out? Think about it. How did Baby Goat work out?
Also, Wild.
It does. It
not
does work. Baby Mahomes. How's that?
Just questioning Mahomes there. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.